Hello, friends and family of Harmony Church. I'm happy to announce that the sun has returned, and next week Harmony will be hosting a picnic in the park. Now, as part of that day's festivities, there will be much grilling of hamburgers and hot dogs and steaks and various other fatty meats.
Now, Chad and I used to be culinary students, and as part of the day's festivities, we decided to give you guys a barbecue marinade recipe that's so good that it would change your religion. So anyway, we ask that you grab a paper and pen and roll up your sleeves. This might get messy. But remember, we're professionals. Don't try this at home. Wait, did you write that line? Because that doesn't make any sense. Now to start, you're gonna need a big bowl just like this one. It's gonna be good for mixing up the marinade. You're also gonna need an assortment of sauces and spices. That's gonna help with the marinade also. And Chad's gonna mix all that up. You need to follow along with him, but I'm just gonna give you some tips on how to make a really good marinade. Now, basically, you're gonna wanna start out by picking your meat. Whatever kind of meat, it's gonna change the recipe just a little bit, but it's gonna change it. So if you're choosing steak over hamburgers or chicken or pork chops, whatever, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're custom fitting this marinade for that. Now, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're picking the right size of meat. You don't want a meat that's too big because then the marinade's just gonna get lost. It's not gonna absorb well into the meat, and then you're not gonna be able to taste it very much. But if you choose a piece of meat that's too small, it's gonna get just filled with marinade, and that's gonna be it. You're not gonna be able to taste any of the meat. So you wanna choose a nice medium cut. Now make sure, Chad, that you put some ketchup in there, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Just a little squeeze of ketchup. A little bit more. Good. All right, now you're gonna wanna make sure that you are mixing this marinade very well. You're gonna wanna make sure that you're adding everything in right proportions and quantities and everything, because you don't want it to get lost. You want this thing to be just right. You wanna make sure that once you're done, you mix everything really well, you taste it up, and you move on, and you put it in a nice, dry, warm place. Since it's summer, a lot of garages get really warm, so it's really easy. You just keep it covered, put it in there with your meat, and you're gonna wanna let it sit in there for about 2 days so that it can marinate and just absorb all of the juices and everything that your marinade offers. Anyway, when you're mixing it up, you're gonna wanna make sure that it's really, really smooth and it doesn't get any lumps in it. Now, Chad, I wanna make sure that you're putting enough eggs in there. Oh, okay, so that's good. Now, basically all he's gotta do now is he's gotta stir it up real quick with a spoon and maybe give it a little taste. So that way he knows whether or not it's good enough to serve to other people, and that's when you put it in your marinade sauce, and that's good. So anyway, next week we're gonna wanna make sure that you're bringing your own meat and bringing your own grill, because that's what we're gonna be doing here at Harmony Church. It's next week. Don't forget, picnic at the park.